Hi guys, I'm David and welcome to Chateau. Today we're going to be cooking the new surf and turf box. Come and have a look at this. Start off by removing the packaging from your Chateaubriand. Keep your prawns to one side, they'll be in the pan after. The prawns only take about 2 minutes to cook. The steak takes about maybe 10 to 15 minutes, so we'll focus on that first. So as normal, dry off any of the cooking juices from the steak, from your Chateau. Okay? Have your pan hot and add just a wee smidgen of oil just to get things started. Have your butter to the side and we'll add that later on, okay? Because you want to start the cooking process and you want it quite hot here. A medium hot pan. You want to hear that sizzle. You want to put the steak in the pan and you want to hear that sizzle. As we go on, we're going to be turning the steak and caramelising the outside of it on all sides. Okay, it's important that we caramelise it evenly on all sides before it goes into the oven. Now we have taken care of the steak, we've marinated it, we've cooked it at a very low temperature. So all you're really doing is caramelising the outside and bringing it up to temperature, okay? But we take a bit of care and a bit of love and a few extra steps, so we'll add a lot of flavour into that. While that's going on, we have our oven preheated to 190 degrees and I'm going to be putting the bombas inside. Now these bombas are packed full of smoky beef brisket, cornichons or small gherkins, capers. They're really packed with flavour. We have a little smoked emulsion, hay smoked emulsion, like a mayonnaise, and we're going to decant that because it looks prettier. With these, just place them straight onto an oven tray and into the oven that you're going to use. Very simple. Now they'll take maybe about 10 to 15 minutes to come to temperature. In the meantime, we're going to be putting this in the oven as well. Now can you see those colours? That's the colour that we want on our steak. We want to caramelise it right round the outside. The darker the better. Just like when you're in the summer holidays. And we're going to warm up a small pan just with about 50 mils of water. We're going to be putting in our broccoli and our courgettes. Purple sprouting broccoli is a fantastic vegetable, like massively underrated, and it's just starting to come in this year, so we're going to utilise it as to the best that we can. Inside your container, you'll see you have a little XO dressing. Now this dressing is fantastic, and it's so punchy. Don't heat it. Leave that to the side. That will go on once the vegetables are hot. So as I said, there's a tiny bit of water in there, and you're going to place all the vegetables straight into there, okay? To speed this up, you place a tight-fitting lid onto the top and that will steam the vegetables, but I want a little bit of a char on this. Now, as we're doing this, we can see that the steak is starting to, that's nearly ready, isn't it? Look at the colour. And I'm going to place that into the oven. That's going into an oven at 190 degrees and that's going to be between 8 and 10 minutes for medium rare. So straight in it goes. The Chateaubriand will be about another 8 to 10 minutes. The bombas is coming to temperature and your vegetables, they take about 4 minutes and under heat. So what we're going to do is focus on this. Now, I'm not making any mistakes. There is a timer on here. We have a timer on our phone and I have my own timer. This is precision cooking here. I only have one attempt at it. Hot chocolate fondants. As soon as you say it's a chocolate fondant, everyone expects a gooey middle. As much as I've tried, you can't blag it. We're going to put these hot chocolate fondants into the oven at 185 degrees for 11 minutes. Don't mess around, not 11 and a half, not 10 and a half, 11 minutes. Okay? I'm going to get this right. Proof, you see? Right, let's get these in the oven. In a tray, facing up the way, straight into the oven, okay? Make sure they're separated, not too close together, because that will distribute the heat and make them cook differently. For serving the hot chocolate fondant, what I'm going to do is you have a lovely, rich, creamy clotted cream and Morello cherries, that like a sweet and sour braised cherry, which is really nice, that goes with it. We're going to be serving them on the plate. Just a little chefy touch. I'm going to transfer them to bowls and then put a nice scoop in there rather than squeezing it out of a bag. These sauces are integral to the dish. It's not just the hot chocolate fondant, although it's impressive and although it's indulgent, you've got to make a dish of it. You've got to be, this is a celebration of surf and turf. Morello cherries and clotted cream. Okay, separately, here we go. We're going to be finishing off the plate for the fondant before everything else comes out, so we're not running around and we're not panicking, okay? So in my hot spoon goes, straight into the clotted cream, in a C motion, nice and calm, and then straight onto the plate, okay? You see that? Wash the spoon. You can try and do the same with the Morello cherries. Again, look how shiny they are. Look at that. Fantastic. And then they just go straight onto the plate, okay? Now the sharpness of those cherries will cut through the chocolate. The chocolate we use is 80%. It's very dark and indulgent and rich and fantastic. That's the steak out of the oven now. We put it back on the heat. As you can see, it's lovely and roasted and it's still sizzling. Now we're going to add the butter that was contained in the packet there, and that will start to foam. When you're foaming butter, it goes to noisette, which is like a hazelnut brown butter. We're going to foam it over the top of it, and that just continually adds layers and layers of flavour to the steak, okay? We have the prawns as well. We're going to foam this. We're going to have the prawns ready to your side. Foam this, take it to the side, and then add the prawns, okay? With the rich and indulgent butter. I hope no one's panicking because we have 5 minutes left for the hot chocolate fondants. Steak is rolled around in that butter. Nothing cooked in butter tastes worse than it went in. We spoon over, we tilt the pan so the butter comes to the bottom of the pan, and we spoon over lovingly, caringly. Now we know that that beef's cooked perfectly because we took it to eight minutes. We know that it's cooked perfectly. We'll just add in little tips that we're learning on the way, okay? So that's the steak done. We're going to take that off and leave the pan on the stove. So that's resting now. Resting is very important. So we're going to rest that for 5 minutes, and by the time it's rested, we're ready to go, okay? So into the pan, this pan here, go the prawns. You've got your prawns and the chili and garlic butter. The butter is fantastic. It may not look much, but inside the butter, we've got confit garlic that's been blitzed up, red chili, green chili, and some various herbs. It's fragrant. As soon as that butter hits the pan, you can start to smell it. And look at the colour of those prawns. Look at the colour of those prawns. Look. Oh, lovely stuff. Okay. That's the prawns. Prawns are very easy to cook, very, very simple. Just a nice butter, fragrant butter. Now that chili and garlic butter is foaming away there. While that's got about 1 minute left, what we're going to do is we're going to start to take out the bombast from the oven, and we're going to start to plate everything. All right, we're good to go. These bombasts are taken out of the oven, nice and hot, and placed in a bowl. Served alongside that fantastic hay smoked emulsion. Leave that to the side. Just keep the prawns moving in the pan. Just keep them moving, toss them around in that butter. The butter's already seasoned, no need to add anything else to the pan, just a bit of love, a bit of care and attention. You'll see the colour from the prawns change from their opaque blueness to a red, like a really red crimson colour, and they're fantastic to eat like that. You'll know the texture yourself. Steak is about maybe 3 minutes away from going. We've got the vegetables here. We'll start to put the vegetables in the pan. So remove this. You have your broccoli and your courgettes in the pot. You've brought them to the heat. Now this XO dressing is punchy and fiery. So if you don't like things too hot, then just add half. I'm going to add half because we're sharing it. Now that's a fantastic dressing. Don't throw that away. That stuff's gold. Keep that. Now XO dressing is fantastic with other things. I love it with vegetables, but it's really good with meat on its own. So if you have any of the steak left over, help yourself. So the vegetables, pile them high. And that way we're celebrating the green vegetables, serving it with respect, and that punch, that fiery red dressing. Let's get it on there. You got your beef, it's been rested already, okay? And we're going to try and carve it into 3 equal pieces. There's no rhyme or reason for doing that, it's just a lot easier to eat. You have the fibres of the meat running this way. You want to cut across it with a nice sharp knife. Thick slices, generous slices. Now if you're sharing this with somebody, there's no doubt they'll think that you are very hospitable. Look at that, look at that. So that goes straight onto the plate. The prawns with that amazing garlic butter goes straight on. Now don't be shy with the prawns and the butter. Now to finish this at the end, directly season the meat and the prawns with the smoked salt blend. Crush the crystals of the salt in between your fingers for that extra chefy touch. So out come the fondants from the oven. Lovely, looking fantastic. In one quick motion, we're going to tip this upside down, okay? 1, 2, 3, up. And there we go. And there you have hot chocolate fondant. Nice and gooey. Look at that. There we go. Okay guys, bon appetit.